Hey there, Saber friends. This video is for Timo. This is his Saber. He's from the FX Saber forums. He's a really cool kid. He's been my buddy on the FX Saber forums for a while, and we've been talking for a couple years about doing something with the Crystal Focus LS by Plecter Labs. So originally I was going to make the blade in maybe yellow or something like that. He was kind of tossing around different colors. And then he eventually settled on Satele Shan Nocturne Armory hilt. So that's what you see here. Hilt made by Nocturne Armory. It's a really cool Satele Shan hilt. From the cinematic trailer to the Old Republic Star Wars video game. So originally there's like, I guess, two sides to this, where you can I don't know, maybe couple two together to make the staff like Satele Shan has. But this is just one hilt, one side of the staff. Really cool etching on the hilt. And, you know, just these parts to mimic Satele Shan's hilt. The one thing that I liked about this hilt when Timo showed me pictures of it at first was that there's no actual windows here in the emitter, so that's good, because for the string blade, you know, you don't know sometimes where the light's going to start. It's not going to start at the very bottom like an LED lightsaber. You need like an inch or something. So if there's windows, you got to be careful with the way you make the blade and stuff like that. Luckily this one actually has like a really deep inset for the blade of like about 3 inches, which is like the most I've ever made as far as the lightsaber goes. So the blade is deeply inset, and you know, you could probably swing it around pretty hard with no trouble. The set screw for the blade was there when I got it, just like basically all the stuff, like the buttons. What I have here is the activation button as the top button and the aux button as the lower button. Okay, I try to find a different place for the power, but down at the pommel is where it stayed. I needed the section of the sled that I modified, that I had some space there. I used that for the rice port. So we had the rice port on the inside on the sled. There's a, you know, like a chassis for the board. It's already in the Saber. Came with the Petite Crouton version 3, and it had an LED in it, so I took that stuff out, modified the sled a little bit, modified the inside of the hilt like totally a lot, especially the emitter to accept the female side of the DIN plug. Like I said, it's like 3 inches down there. Maybe you can see it a little bit. It's an 8-pin DIN plug that matches up to the male side on the blade, which on Timo's blade we use a nickel-plated DIN plug, male side on the blade, and his blade is a blue blade for this Satele Shan, and it has a white flash on clash. So the blue is made up of 5mm LEDs, and he has 106 of those. That's 360 degree super bright LEDs, 100 milliamp, and also 3.2 volt wired in serial L class 2, and that's 6 segments in his blade, which I'll get to in a second. He also has cool white LEDs inside the blade for the flash on clash. I'm going to show you what the blade looks like. Okay, so that's his tip there. The round tips work great for the 360 degree LEDs. If you have a 45 degree or like a more of a straight ahead viewing angle on your LEDs, you can do a bullet tip. This is the Custom Saber Shop trans white tube, and it's a thin wall, and we have some hot glue at the bottom holding in the DIN plug. That's in case I ever have to go in and do some work to the blade. Something goes wrong, we can heat up the hot glue and take out all the components of the blade and, you know, try to fix what's going on there. So then reset it with the hot glue. So anytime that loosens up, you just kind of heat it up and form it back. But it's properly configured to this particular saber, so it should go in and out of the DIN plug no problem for a while, for a long time to come. And okay, so pull the kill key out.
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Now what I did here was I've been trying since maybe 1 or 2 sabers back. What I've been trying to do is put 2 speakers in like every saber I make now. So this saber has a 20mm speaker in the chassis right underneath the buttons here, pointed down. I didn't think there was any space for the sound to be coming out if it was pointed ahead at all, especially with the blade in. There's no openings or anything, so pointed that one down at the head of the chassis, the PVC chassis, and then we have the board in there and the wires and stuff and the batteries. And what I have as far as batteries is the 16 500s, let me think. 16,500 times 2, that for 7.4 with the PCB. That stuff was from the custom saber shop, and then the second speaker is below the battery pack, and that's the 2-watt bass speaker. Everything was taken out of this stuff when this saber came to me. It originally had 2-watt bass speaker, but this is basically just a brand new one, just to put all like brand new stuff in here. Okay, so to actually get to the rice port for Timo, what you do is you could see that there's the recharge right there, and you have a compliments of Cad Bane. We have a nice knurled retainer for the nut for the port there. So what you do is you just kind of, it's just like finger tight, so just kind of roll that around. That has to be loosened up. The CoverTech wheel has to be taken out because that actually is threaded through the chassis. So if I want to show you how to undo the chassis and pull out to the recharge port, or anytime you want to do that, you're gonna have to take off this screw here. Okay, and then so taking off the nut on the recharge port is going to allow us to freely spin the pommel without turning the recharge port. Okay, putting the kill key back in. Okay, I have a protective cover over the speaker, and that's just, it's got a bunch of holes in it to let the sound out, but that's to protect the speaker. Like I said, I couldn't find another place for the recharge port, and even though the wires are soldered in an area facing one direction, I don't want the recharge port to ever touch the speaker. So there's a plastic covering over that, so just try to retain that. What there is in the chassis itself, in the PVC, you probably won't be able to see it on camera, but there's 2 drilled holes. You only need 1 of them. I made 2. I think I made 3 actually. There's a couple drilled holes there with some areas to reach through with a dentist tool. What I'll do is I'll send you something, Timo, to get to this. So what you do is you just have to stick the dentist tool, depending on how hard it is to take out this, there's really nowhere to grab, so. Okay, I locked into one of the holes that I made there. It's on the side, because the PVC's kind of thick, so I drilled these holes there to kind of help pull this chassis out so that we don't disturb anything. And what you'll see is now I don't need the dentist tool anymore, I'm just pulling it with my fingers. You'll see that's the hole that you have to line up with that hole to reinsert the chassis and to actually put your cover tech back in, so just watch out for that. And then your rice port's on the other side of that. Okay, so there's the rice port. You can pull it out this far and just like put your rice in there.
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
And just do all your like configurations. What you have to do with the CFLS, I don't know if this is how it is with the other sabers, but what you have to do is you have to turn the lightsaber on with the blade in. Well, you don't have to with the blade in, but you know, to see the blade effect. And then what you'll do is you'll tap the button for connect, and then you should be able to get a connection, but only kind of when it's on. Okay, so you could do your rice stuff by pulling it out that far. You can even get to your like SD card. Let me put the kill key back in. Get to your SD card with your finger there, or you can like pull out even a little more to see the board and stuff like that. But you basically have access to the SD card and stuff like that right there. So then just to put it back in, like I said, there's a hole right here. Align it with that hole. That came with this. It's pretty easy actually to do it. Like, okay, and I'm just like pushing on that section. Just gonna have to pull out this kill key for a second.
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
What I could actually do is put on the kill key, since I have the holes aligned. I mean, put on the cover tech belt clip while I have those holes aligned through the chassis, which will lock the chassis into place. Okay, then I'm gonna put the bit of the end of the recharge port just through that hole. The way this came from Nocturne Armory, there's only like one turn. You have to turn once you compress the pommel on. So, but just before I tighten that, I just want to put the kill key back in. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to put the nut on top. No, wait. I want to turn this first and make sure that kill key's not turning as well. Okay, so it's like free, it's free in there, it doesn't screw in. What you have to do is put this nut back on. I drilled a place for the nut. Just do a finger tight. It's like it's knurled, so your finger can kind of.
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Okay, so that part was boring, but it had to be done. And I'll show you the blade now, which is the fun part. So what you do is, you know, as you probably know, you just align the bottom of the dim plug, which you could tell. See, there's like a difference there. There's like a bottom to it. With that little section, you're just going to meet that up with the section inside your saber. And what you can do is you can almost tell by, like once you start making a mark, let me see if I could see it, because I had your retention screw tightened. See, the mark is right there for the retention screw. You could see it in person. And you could make the mark with a marker, or just push the retention screw in a little more next time and make a divot. So what I could do actually is almost align with the retention screw, like imprint, see if that, alright, that just clicked in. I'm going to tighten your retention screw. Now, I made Teimo's blade 33 inches. At first, I thought it was a little unfortunate that it sat in 3 inches there, but actually now I think it's actually a good thing, and the length of the blade is like perfect. I think it's perfect for this saber, especially when you start swinging it around. I'm just going to pull just to make sure I tightened it enough. Now, when you have the retention screw loose and you're going to take out this blade, don't twist it like you would your LED stuff, okay? Like your single LED blades, that you're just your empty blade tubes. What you want to do is just pull straight out, okay? Because twisting it, you're going to crunch DIN materials and stuff like that. So just pull straight out and straight in when you go in, okay? Okay, so like I said, blue blade. You can see the white flash and the segment blaster. I'll just go through the fonts I set up for Teimo. Basically what I did was I just took my Quiflex, I just did a new setup on my Quiflex and tuned my Quiflex recently. A couple different fonts and stuff like that. Kind of made sense from the movies, I think. So what I did was I just copied my Quiflex files onto your Saber Teimo. I think all the stuff really fits. So what I did was I have the font number 1 is from episode 4. It's Mad Cow's Heirloom, which I just love. I think it sounds great on this saber with the 2 speakers. Yeah, so one other thing, I installed a little vibe motor in the neck here, but I'm hard pressed to. I'm not sure I'm really feeling it. Maybe I used the too strong of a resistor, and I'm only feeling it a little bit, or I'm not sure. I'm actually feeling the vibration. I'm feeling something, but I don't know if it's the speakers. The little vibe motor seems stronger in the 2 tests right before I put it in the saber. Seems strong, and then when I'm actually using it, I'm not sure I feel all that. Let's see here.
I call it luck.
What's in there?
Only what you take with you.
So this is probably my favorite font on here. This is Bespin 2. Perfect for a blue blade, just like Heirloom. Just got such a awesome hum. And awesome effects on Bespin. Let's see.
What's in there?
Only what you take with you.
This is the 3rd Mad Cow font.
Han, can you read my lightsaber?
I just put some boots there. It's from the Alex Gordon Intergalactic boot disc. And this is another one of my favorite fonts, Hero. That one's just great.
A man can have anything if he is willing to sacrifice.
What did you say?
So this is a new font by Lord Blako, and it is in regards to the Old Republic game, but it's the new expansion pack that came out. It's like one of those fonts that actually goes with the yellow bladed lightsaber, but it works great for Satele because it's an Old Republic.
dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Don't make me kill you.
So we have Unnatural by Link. It's another awesome font. I think works great with the string blades, and I think works great with the blue blade. It's like a laser beam sounds to me in the font sometimes. I like the ignitions and retractions on the Unnatural by Link.
Dark side of the Force is a path.
Okay, so the first three fonts, like, related to the first three movies, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and A New Hope, and this one represents Episode 7. So this one is Graflex by Lord Blako. I believe it's by Lord Blako. I have to double check on that one. Okay, so that second Episode 7Q is for the tracks. You could turn on the blade and have it go in sequence, which is pretty cool. Okay, so through the rice port, you're going to be able to change the drive settings, change the FOC settings. You could probably go a little higher with the flash on clash. I just have it so that it protects the battery. If you go too high on the flash on clash, you could go up to, you can go between 0 and 1023, 0 being no flash on clash, 500 being like something like the middle. You could go up to 500, but what it might start doing is actually tag the battery and actually cause the protection circuit on the battery to turn the saber off. So even though the flash can go like brighter, I have it set to, I think, like 240, 250, so probably half as bright as it could actually be. The blade itself, the blue blade with the 5mm LEDs, I have that set to 850 out of a possible 1023. I don't suggest going higher than like 850. I mean, you could check it. I might have done 800, but I think I did 850 on each of the fonts and 750 on the tracks, because you don't need like magnum power going to the blade on the tracks. I don't think, but you know, you could do whatever you want. I just suggest not overdriving the blade too much, because these are 3.2 LEDs, blue. I never had any of these burn out or anything. They're really robust, but you know, you just want to protect it. It's pretty bright. I have all the lights on in here. I think blue is like one of my favorite colors lately, if not my absolute favorite color, because it looks to me like the Episode 7 blue, and I just love this blue. It's like a laser beam. It's so bright. So this is Bespin 2. I think it's got a great sound to it. The one other thing I wanted to say, Timo, is that some of the fonts, I think like 4 out of 6 of the fonts, or 5 out of 6, are going to have this type of blaster deflect. See how a segment goes out, stuff like that. On one of the fonts, I think it's font number 4, I don't have that active. I have that as 0 in the rice. Which I starting to like better, where it's just like classic flash on clash, where it just bursts white. But you know, you can go in and kind of change all that stuff. I just wanted to show you, like, in full view, the way this looks. To me, it looks real. I think the saber's pretty awesome. perfect length on the blade. I'm tall too, so this actually like fitting me pretty well. I just love the like the full trails, I guess you could say, like the full length trails on a string blade. Pretty cool. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this saber. Thanks for watching this video, everybody.